What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with an unboxing video. I'm sorry I haven't been on in a long time, but, you know, with the coronavirus thing, my wife is home, my kids are home, so it makes it hard to do videos in peace and quiet. I'm gonna go ahead and risk it today with the family home. I've got these 4 items in, and they are pretty awesome. I could not wait to show them to you, and I sent these in, I think back in December, maybe January, and they are pretty awesome. There's 4 of them here, and so I've got them all lined up here. I haven't taken them out of the bubbles yet, or out of the wrapping yet, but here is the first one. These are just awesome. This is a Lili Ledy Pruneface displayed with an original Lili Ledy card. So you can see here, it's got the Lili Ledy logo. And then there's the figure. They kind of encased him on there. Now, I've had a lot of folks ask about this when they've seen the photos, either on Instagram or on Facebook, but it looks like they cut into the card to insert like all the brackets and everything, but that's not the case. What they do is, I don't know if it's going to show or not, but this will probably show it. They do a separate piece of plastic on the front. I hope that's coming through okay. But you can see where they put a separate piece of plastic on the front, a separate piece of plastic on the back. They slide the card in between it, and then on that front piece of plastic, that's how they build out the brackets. So you can see where they put the weapon on the side there. And so this is an original vintage Lili Ledy cardback, and the cardbacks have gotten crazy in terms of price. Luckily, I've had a couple of buddies that traded me for a couple of these, and I bought a couple of them and so forth, but I'm going to go ahead and take this one out of the poly bag because I want to show you guys the backs of the cards, and the statements of archival are blocking things. But this is what the backs of most of the Lili Ledy cardbacks look like. They're kind of like drawings of each of the figures. And, there's earlier cardbacks with less figures, but this is one of the later cardbacks. But you can kind of see all the writing all in Spanish, and the drawings. Now, there's 2 different Lili Ledy cardbacks. I mean, obviously there's different cardbacks in terms of numbers, but in terms of aesthetics, there is the positive cardback, which is this one that has the gray background or the brown background, cardboard background with the black outline figures. And then there's a reverse or negative cardback that has the black background with white figures. I've got one coming that's not in this batch, but I've got one coming of a biker scout that has the negative cardback. Those are a little bit harder to find, a little more expensive, but this is just a positive card back. But look how amazing that looks. I mean, it just turned out awesome. And you can see Pruneface there. They mounted the weapon on the side of the case there, and he came back with an 80 Lili Ledy Pruneface, but just an awesome figure. I just love the way they present these. And for someone like me, I cannot afford a true mint on card Lili Ledy. They go for many thousands of dollars, and there's just no way I could afford to have something like a true mint on card Lili Ledy. The Kenner Lili Ledys, the made in Mexico card bags, those are relatively inexpensive, but to have a true Lili Ledy card back like this, mint on card, I mean, that's just outside of my budget. There's no way I could afford something like that. But so this gives me kind of the next best thing, or maybe a reseal with a reseal bubble would be the next best thing, and this would be the the second best thing, or third, or whatever you want to call it. But very cool. I could maybe afford like a reseal, but that would be even quite a bit more expensive than something like this. But I just love the way it turned out. It just turned out amazing. CAS will do these, and they'll also grade loose grade reseals. So that's something you could do if you wanted to, if you have something like that. But I just went for something like this where the figure's loose and they just display it with the brackets, and have the weapons mounted to the side. But it's just really cool card backs. And I just, given that I collect a lot of Lili Ledys, I just thought it would be cool to have some of these in my collection. So that is one. I've got 3 more of these in this batch, and it's just nice to get some items back. And I'm sorry that I haven't done any videos. It's just life gets in the way, man. With this coronavirus lockdown, it's just, you would think I'd be doing more videos instead of less, but it just hasn't happened. So I hope everyone's doing well and is safe out there. And let's take a look at the next one. I don't know which one it is. Oh, this is the one I wanted to save till last, but because I've already opened it, I'm going to go ahead and show it. It is awesome. This is the best of the bunch. without a doubt. This is the Zuckuss, Lili Ledy Zuckuss, and on a Lili Ledy cardback. The cardback's in amazing condition. It's got a couple little tears there, but just an awesome, awesome figure. And it came back with an 85 plus. So I'll take it out of the poly bag in a second, but I got this cardback separately in one of the Lili Ledy groups, and the figure is a funny story. I was telling somebody about this. The figure was, I'll go ahead and take it out of the poly bag. The figure was listed on eBay, and it was listed as a no country of origin. It did not mention anything about being a Lili Ledy, but I checked out luckily it had really good photos, and I checked out the sculpting on it, and it was in fact a Lili Ledy, and I was correct, obviously, since they graded it as such. But I got the figure for like $64, I think, shipped from the UK, and so it was just an awesome deal. And the figure is just, I mean, dead mint, dead mint. I love it. Absolutely gorgeous Lili Ledy Zuckuss, and one I did not have in my collection. You can see how they mounted the gun there, and it came back with an 85 plus. The way you can tell a Lili Ledy, if memory serves, is these two little, you see these little notches right here on the front of the shins? Those little notches right there denote that it's a Lili Ledy. So it's a really easy figure to tell whether you have a Lili Ledy or not. Just look for those little shin molding details. That's the only, the Lili Ledy is the only one that has those little details on the shin. So it's really easy to tell if you got a Lili Ledy Zuckuss or not. But what an awesome figure. The cardback is incredible. I mean, look at that figure. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And then here's the cardback for this one. This is about as good as you're going to find for a used Lili Ledy cardback. I mean, I've seen a few better, but not many. So just awesome, awesome figure. So 85 plus on that one. So that's two. I'll refocus the camera. And then I've got two more. Let's see, this one is the AT-ST driver. And I don't know what it is. It's crazy. I looked at the photos on CAS, and I hadn't seen these in like 5 or 6 months. But it might have been less than that. It might have been 4. I can't remember. But anyway, it looked like the torso on this AT-ST driver is yellowed even more than when I sent it in. So it's just really hard to find a Lili Ledy AT-ST driver that's mint, and it looks even more. It does. I mean, it looks way more yellow even than when I sent it in originally. So it may not be coming through that well, but you can kind of see kind of a yellowish tint to the torso versus the legs and arms. But it's an otherwise really nice Lili Ledy. I thought it would get an 80, but it has yellowed even since I've sent it in. But because the emblems are in great shape, face paint, everything, all the wrists. I think there's a couple of little nicks on the belt, if I remember right there. There's some things on the belt there, but a really nice Ledy. The Ledy AT-ST driver came with either these matte boots or a really high gloss boot, so you can find it with either paint. But the reason it got a 75 is because of that yellow torso, and I didn't honestly notice it being that bad when I sent it in, so it's definitely yellowed since I sent it in. So they gave it a 75, and it should. That's really coming in well there. If you can see it there, you can see how yellow it is versus the legs and the arms. But it's definitely yellowed a lot, man. It's crazy. And they appropriately scored it a 75. So 75. And but a beautiful cardback. I found the cardback on eBay in an auction. Got a really good deal on that. And the interesting thing about the AT-ST driver is that he comes with the black Palace blaster instead of the typical weapon. So that's something to look out for. Make sure you get the correct weapon for the Lili Ledy. It's a black one. And I think the Luke and the B-Wing pilot, they come with a gray version. But the Lili Ledy driver comes with a black version. So, but there's the cardback on that one. I haven't compared any of the cardbacks to see if they're different. Let's see if I get it to focus a little better there. There's that. Let's see if this one's different. That's the same, it looks like. And then let's check out the Prune. I can't remember if this is the same. It looks like they're all the same cardback. So, there's earlier cardbacks with like 12 backs and things like that. I don't know all the different numbers of all the Lili Ledys. That's a question for a bigger expert. I'm not that detailed, but I like how they did the etched accessory case. I told them when possible to do an etched accessory case. I think because these two guns are so large, they couldn't do that. They had to use brackets, but I thought for this one, it looks nice with the etched accessory case on the side there. So that's that. That card back is probably the least nice. Well, actually, no. The prune's missing the hanger tab up top, so that's probably the least. But you know, it's got quite a bit of wear around the bubble area. But that Zuckuss card back is awesome, man. Okay, last one, and I've got 2 more still in process in a different order. So I'm gonna have 6 of these total, believe it or not. But these are the 4 that I've got. I've got one of them on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram. You know, as I get photos from Collector Archive Services, whether I've got them in hand or not, I go ahead and post some of them on Instagram. So I did post the TIE Fighter palette. That is in a different order, though, and I have not gotten that back yet. And it probably will not be back for a while, but for whatever reason, they graded it pretty quickly. And then I've got a Biker Scout also coming. But this is the last one. I'll go ahead and show it before I take it out of the poly bag. This is a really nice one, though. This is the Hoth Rebel Commander. Beautiful figure. And it's displayed with the card back 80. Came back with an 80 score. And just a beautiful figure. Jose in the Lili Ledy group gave this one, or sold me the figure. And he gave me a very, very fair price. So thank you, Jose, as always. I buy way too much stuff from you. He gives really good prices, though, on a lot of the loose figures, because he gets them pretty easily. But there's the weapon. The weapon for the Hoth Rebel Commander is different. Obviously, it comes with the bowcaster. So you can see that. It's a special mold of the bowcaster, also used with the Chewbacca, obviously. But just an awesome figure. The card back is tough to find, though. It was funny. I looked everywhere for one of these card backs, and I could not find one anywhere. And then, lo and behold, you know, it just shows you literally everything comes for sale eventually if you're patient enough. And lo and behold, one of these got listed on eBay after I'd given up looking for one of these card backs, and it came on eBay, and I got it for like hardly anything. I think in an auction I paid like $100 for the card back, which for a Lili Ledy card back, that sounds like a lot, but it's not. That's really cheap. That's very cheap, in my opinion. Anyway. But, you know, there's a card back today of a alternate photo Lili Ledy C-3PO. Just the card back sold for almost $600. I think it was $570. So it just shows you how crazy some of the prices are for some of these vintage Lili Ledy card backs. That one I can understand because the C-3PO is highly in demand, and it had the alternate photo also. So, so I'm going to take this one out. Here we are. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure, though. There's 2 different boot colors for the Hoth Rebel Commander Lili Ledy. These are the dark boots. There is a light boot variant for that. I'm going to get it eventually so we can compare it. I don't have one yet, but they're not very hard to find and not very expensive. But this is the dark boot variant. But there is a lighter, even lighter version than that. But an awesome figure, awesome presentation. Just love it. It's got some damage to the card, obviously, but, you know, I'm not going to complain. And there's the back of the card, same card. But anyway, that's my first video in a while. It's an unboxing. I've got a bunch of items that are coming back soon. I've got a couple of really nice Spanish POC figures that are coming, and then some other bootlegs and things like that. If you check me out on Instagram, you'll see them at Action Figure Grader. But these are the 4 items that arrived. I hope everyone is doing well, being safe. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will be back soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.